But another thing cities have is a city code, which is basically the laws of the city. If you want to look at this as the Constitution, the code is the actual law. You'll be amazed at some of the things that are in and regulated. Once again, we're going to pick on Crystal because we live there. But you can find this in almost any city that you have. The city of Crystal has a code that's 600 pages. You want to know where your personal liberty is going, people? It's not in Washington and St. Paul. It's right, or it's not only there.
Yeah.
It's also right here under our noses.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, they regulate every area of life, from having pets to the way your yard is maintained to the way that you would handle yourself if you were an entrepreneur, to every single, from the moment you wake up, the way that you bat your eyes to the way you take your final breath before you shut your eyes in the evening is regulated by the city code.
Well, just some goofy things. I want to start with this one. You want to have a garage sale, ladies and gentlemen? Well, you better check the city code here in Crystal. You can only have 4 garage sales a year. You have 5, you are technically in violation of the city code. They can be no longer than 3 days in length. You can't take the week off and have a garage sale. That's technically illegal. So only 12 days a year can you have a garage sale to get rid of your junk. Signs for a garage sale can be no more than 4 square feet, 2 by 2. Even if you get permission from, hey, your friend on the corner, can I put in a tree? Only 2 by 2. 2 feet by 1 inch, you are subject to a fine by the city. So that's just, and they must be taken down within 24 hours. Mm-hmm. They must be, or the garage sale police will be all over you.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, and whether you're trying to make a little extra money in a garage sale or whether you're trying to have a home business.
A home business.
Did you know that if you wanted to run a massage business, a legitimate massage business out of your house, you have to pay to be investigated before you can even get a license in the city to do it? You've got to be licensed at the city level.
And of course, that's not free. There's a fee to pay with it.
And you've got to pay for an inspection. Okay, don't we have laws on the books if people are running illegal massage parlors out of their homes?
Cities got to have their own law. But, it's the same thing with, say, you want to run a home daycare center. Yeah. There's a limit to how many kids you can have. There's a limit to the hours that you can conduct it, and so on and so forth. It's the same thing with the garage sale. I didn't mention that. I forgot to write that down. But there are limits that you can only start it at a certain time in the morning. You have to end it at a certain time at night. Mm-hmm. Also, another thing, too, is what it costs for some of these licenses. You want to have a liquor license in the city of Crystal? You know how much it is? You can't count that high. It is $6,500, $6,500 just for the license. And of course, that license, the cost of that license, is something that will be passed off on to the customer. Mm-hmm. A pawnbroker, a pawnbroking license. I know we have a couple. We have one right on 81.
Yeah,
is $12,000. Just think how much stuff that owner's got to sell just to pay for that license.
If you're gold guys, that's like what, about 12% of your...
Yeah, that's a lot. Housing inspections. It costs up to $200 just to have a housing inspection for sale. And it depends. Some of it varies, depends on whether it's a duplex or not. And those fees, they've all since 2010 been raised at least 20%. Some as much as 67%. A rental licensing fee, $300 it can cost you to do that. It's just unbelievable what the fees are.
Oh, it's horrible, and this is where this is their big money maker,
right?
And they have fees to use the pool, but it never makes all of its money back in a year either, Well,
what it is it's a backdoor tax.
Mm-hmm.
It's no different. Raising a fee, it's no different than raising a tax. Just somebody different is paying it. What happens is if you raise the fees of somebody to purchase liquor for their store, they pass that cost off onto you as the customer, or they decrease the hours for employees or something of that. they'll find a way to make up the money. So it is not, it is just a backdoor tax or fee.
Mm-hmm. And so they get you with the licenses, they get you with the fees, and then they've got these regulations about how you've got to live. You know, if, let's say you're storing a motor vehicle.
Oh, gee.
In Crystal, you can't store an oversized military vehicle, including but not limited to half-tracks, troop transports, and tankers.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad that's in there? Because who doesn't have one of those sitting
Yeah.
around, you know what I mean?
I love when a city code says, we have these, but not limited to.
Yeah.
Meaning we can make it up as we go, is
Yeah.
basically what they mean.
Which is exactly what they did with chicken ownership.
Right.
Is,
There's
you
no
know,
statute on it, so they made it up.
But chickens are a problem. Yeah, we don't have to have chicken ownership in individual instances as we
Yeah.
deem fit.
Well, it's I don't know, the dogs behind my house got to be louder than any chicken
Yep.
I've ever run into.